Hey, Frank, to start that fourth quarter, what made you stick with that bench lineup, stick with Kuz, who'd been struggling, and keep both LeBron and AD on the bench?
Well, they had a strong finish to the third quarter. I think that unit, the five-man unit that was in there, Quinn, Alex, and Troy, Kuz, and Dwight, they deserve the game ball. Obviously, they turned the game around with that big run in the fourth. JaVale had some strong minutes toward the end of the third. That was also a factor and helped us get a little momentum. And, obviously our big guns took us home. But, AD was in foul trouble. Braun was exhausted. I wanted to get, both of those guys needed to stay on the bench, and other guys needed to step up. And they did, So it was a great team win for us.
How about just Kuzma specifically with it? You're trying to get him into rhythm, trying to keep his minutes on the floor to be able to go off like that.
Yeah, well, we know he's capable of that, right? And it's no surprise to anybody. I think he had 12 points in the third or something like that, something during that stretch where he made some big buckets and, carried us. And that's, that we've been proceeding early in the season with wanting to have LeBron or Anthony on the floor at all times. And having Kuz back and we get Rondo back, we can allow those guys to rest more and to have opportunities where they're both on the bench because one of those guys can step up and carry the load like Kuz did.
Kind of an old NBA adage that if you can find a way to win when you don't have your best game to start, it says something about your team. Do you feel that? Did you see something tonight?
Yeah, I like that, as they were up big and we were trying to climb back in it, our guys on the bench were talking about, we got the number one defense in the league. And when you got the number one defense in the league, you can string together some stops. And, we started that fourth quarter really strong and gave us an opportunity to make some big shots in the fourth.
Your guards really were struggling against their guards and giving up turnovers early. What do you think kind of changed about that later in the game, and where did those guys kind of seal that up?
Well, look, this is all we talked about for 2 days with the Chicago Bulls is their defensive activity and their ability to force turnovers. They show aggressively on the pick and rolls. Their guards are overextending in passing lanes, and they're fifth in the league in forcing turnovers. So, a lot of times you can talk about it all you want, and you don't really feel it, And in the first quarter, we knew it was coming, but we didn't really handle it that well. But as the game wore on, we just got a little more used to it, a little more comfortable with it, understood what we had to do in terms of ball security, and we're able to secure the win.
Is it nice for you to see Quinn have a game like that?
Oh, I love that kid. He plays so hard and tries and works to do everything you tell him to do, and he's a good player. And Alex's defense has been exceptional of late, so he's been getting those minutes. But we've all been trying to make sure Quinn stays lifted, and that's all when we came in. Hey, every NBA game is different. One night you might get 4 or 5 minutes. The next night you're called upon to play a bigger role, and that was tonight for him, and he stepped up big time, had some big threes, and made some big plays.
Staying on Quinn, we spoke this morning about LeBron's passing, and you found Quinn in the corner to boost the lead from 4 to 7. Did that pass stick out to you at all, LeBron?
I remember he had the and one, right? I don't know if that was from LeBron. Was from LeBron? Yeah, that's our vision, is to put shooters like that around LeBron James. He's the best driving kicker, inside-out passer in the history of the league. And, we wanted to get as many of those guys as we could, so Quinn stepped up.